rather than sectors, because sectors can be silos, yeah, we look at a value chain. Because we want, as I said, we are looking at an economy that is production-led, rather than, in fact, investment-led, for the simple reasons of where we are financially. We have to we have stopped talking about production and productivity for the last several years. We've been talking about investment and enabling environment and all manner of things, except where the rubber hits the road, which is the production base. So we're looking at the entire economy in terms of value chains. And when we look at a value chain, we look at we start from the market. That's how you look at value chains. You say, what's the market for this? And what does the market want? And what can the market pay? And then you work backwards to make sure that you can compete. Where is your competitiveness bottlenecks? And those are the bottlenecks you fix. But we're also looking at, then you have to prioritize the value chains, given where we are, that give you the most bang for the buck and quickest for your public buck. So I want to illustrate with one value chain that you mentioned. That's why we need to have a meeting of minds of why we are approaching it this way, and you are looking at it more like what we need to do for manufacturers, so that we can have a meeting of minds. You are sitting in a silo called manufacturing. So you're only seeing your silo, and not how it connects to the other people. Well, when you talk about agriculture, because we're looking at and by value chain, we don't mean just agricultural. Another example which has come out of our health sector is manufacture of pharmaceuticals and medical goods. We are importing saline solutions from Uganda, made by Kenyans in Uganda, and paying an arm and a leg. So one of the things that we are seeing that we have to do to bring down the cost of healthcare is look at where we can do local manufacturing cheaply of generic drugs, of those sort of medical commodities, bandages, because our total health spend today, we have numbers, is about 550 billion. About 20% of that is commodities. So that's a good 110 billion shilling industry. How much of that can we capture? 20, 30%? Again, but it comes out of our health. Our health, since we need to do, health is one of our pillars, we're asking ourselves, well, example, something we don't talk about, I see government talking, we've been trying to do vehicle assembly for donkey years. And I've even seen a policy which is proposing that we go back to the 70s, protecting local assemblers. Yet, we have a new industry called boda boda. We've got 1 million boda bodas on the road. If you look at the replacement, just replacement rate, we're talking about obsolescence, maybe 200,000. So without even protection, we know that there are people who are already assembling. Some of your members have gone into assembling boda bodas, isn't it? Kai and General, various other people. And that's an industry where we can see ourselves leveraging on the size of the market. Because we can also, if you look at, if it was 1 million, I think within the EAC, we are talking about 5 million motorcycles. 5 million motorcycles, so that replacement rate is 1 million motorcycles a year and growth. DRC has just joined the EAC. So if we can capture sort of a chunk of that, 10%, we are exporting 500,000 motorcycles a year. And then we're even looking at leapfrogging internal combustion, because we already have people who are doing electric, and they're easier to manufacture, so we can leapfrog the internal combustion engines quite quickly. Again, we start from a transport value chain, and we end up in manufacturing.